We must never allow that South Africa must be bullied by imperialist forces. America must never tell us what to do. The same United States, which is furious at being cut off from the riches of Burkina Faso, cannot tell us what to do. We stand with Captain Traore. We stand with Traore because we know that Traore stands for the unity of Africa. We are Traore, and Traore is all of us. If they kill Traore, you must know they would have created another wound in the continent of Africa.
Across continents and oceans, from the crowded streets of Paris to the bustling boroughs of New York, from Johannesburg's heart to London's historic squares, a storm is rising. And at its center is a young African leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore. At just 35 years old, Traore has ignited something that the world's powerful nations did not see coming: a global African awakening. What began as a national revolution in Burkina Faso is now spreading like wildfire across the world, as Africans and allies take to the streets in an unprecedented wave of protests demanding freedom, dignity, and justice for the motherland.
And we are sending a message to America. Enough is enough. We don't not touch Ibrahim Traore. We don't not touch him. We don't use Obama. And we don't bomb up it. We don't bomb up down so and take the Gaddafi from away. We don't not touch Ibrahim Traore. And enough more people want to touch the way.
We are here this morning, like one man, to honor and encourage our young leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, for the fight he is leading back home. We are far from home, but near in spirit. So we are here today, in Times Square, at the heart of Manhattan, to show the whole world that we support our leader, and to confirm that he is the leader we have chosen. In a twist no one saw coming, Italy has broken ranks with the usual Western script, and it's causing ripples across Europe. When the Italian Prime Minister publicly voiced support for Burkina Faso's leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, and openly blasted France over its colonial grip on African economies through the CFA franc, the world sat up and listened. For the first time in decades, a major European voice is calling out the uncomfortable truth. Africa's chains are not just historical, they are financial, and France has held the keys for far too long. This is called the CFA franc. It is the colonial currency that France prints for 14 African countries, to which it applies sovereignty, and by virtue of which it exploits the resources of these nations. This is a picture of a child who works in a mine in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is one of the poorest countries in the world. France prints colonial currency for Burkina Faso, which has gold. In return, they demand that 50% of all Burkina Faso's exports returns to the coffers of the French treasury. The gold that this child goes down the tunnels to extract mostly ends up in the coffers of the French treasury, so the solution is not to take Africans and bring them to Europe. The solution is to free Africa from certain Europeans who exploit it and allow these people to live off what they have. Yesterday, the streets of New York trembled, not with fear, but with the footsteps of Africans united in protest. From Times Square to the steps of city halls, hundreds gathered, waving flags from across the continent, their voices rising in a thunderous call for justice. It was not just a protest, it was a movement born from pain, hope, and unyielding courage. Since Captain Ibrahim Traore started speaking up and putting an end to colonial rule and Western influence in the affairs of Africa, his life has been under constant attacks, with the West accusing him of using the resources of Burkina Faso for his personal gain. He has survived multiple assassination attempts, and just like his predecessor Thomas Sankara, His fight to liberate Burkina Faso and Africa remains. Listen to what General Michael Langley, the Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM, had to say about Ibrahim Traore.
How does our U.S. approach compare and contrast to the approach of Russia in Africa and also Communist China in Africa?
Oh, Chairman, we've always had the lead. So what you're seeing in those two competitors or challengers, they're following in our wake. They see what works as far as our influence and deepening partnerships through those soft powers, whether it be health diplomacy or whether it be in development type programs. So they're following in our wake, trying to replicate what we do best. And I think the African countries know this, and so this is where, as we start to look at going forward, as State Department starts to reset these programs, looking at what worked and what didn't work, and doubling down on what does work. I think we have enough capital built up in these countries for them to ensure their stabilization and also prosperity. The other two competitors are just trying to replicate what we do best.
I can imagine a situation, though, in which the ruling elite of a country is receiving gratuities on the side that inure to the benefit of the strongman leader and not to the populace of the country. Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Traore and Burkina Faso, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime. There's a number of examples across. Even in Sudan, what's going on with the rapid support forces and Burhan of the Sudan forces, when you get down to it, it's all about the revenue that can be drawn out of that. And there are nefarious actors in the CCP and sometimes Russia are complicit in those activities.
Yesterday wasn't just history, it was a warning. Africa's children, scattered across the world, are rising, and they will not rest until justice rolls like thunder across their homelands. For too long, Africa has been divided and weakened by external forces. While leaders like Traore fight on the ground, the global African diaspora holds a different kind of power, the power to amplify, to mobilize, and to pressure the world's attention. Mass protests in Paris, London, New York, and Johannesburg would send a clear message. Africa is united, and its children everywhere are ready to defend its right to self-determination. These demonstrations are not just about supporting one man. They are about rejecting the systems that have kept Africa poor, while its resources enrich others. They are about telling the world that Africa's youth will no longer accept puppet leaders or foreign meddling. When Africans in the diaspora march in solidarity, they strengthen the movement back home, giving courage to those facing bullets and threats. Ibrahim Traore has lit the fire, but it is up to Africans everywhere to make it an unstoppable blaze. By taking to the streets, raising their voices, and standing shoulder to shoulder, they can turn this moment into a global revolution. I'm here to support our leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, to defend the interest of Africa, to defend the interest of Pan-Africanism, the interest of Africa, the interest of Burkina Faso, and the interest of the Alliance of Sahel states. My message is that I don't want what happened 60 years ago to repeat itself again. I don't want what happened to Thomas Sankara to repeat itself again. What happened to Lumumba and all the other Pan-Africanists? Captain Ibrahim Traore is representing Africa with dignity. He is the people's choice. He is the leader we want. He has our support. We are behind him. We want a sovereign Africa. We don't want the ECOWAS. We don't want Western interference, especially from France. We don't want them anymore. I'm from Ivory Coast, the country of Laurent Gbagbo, and he told us Ibrahim Traore is his son. Wherever he goes, we go with him, because he is the voice of the revolution, the voice of sovereignty, the voice of goodwill for the African people, not just for the people of Burkina Faso, but for the people of Africa.
We must never allow that South Africa must be bullied by imperialist forces. America must never tell us what to do. The same United States, which is furious at being cut off from the riches of Burkina Faso, cannot tell us what to do. We stand with Captain Traore. We stand with Traore because we know that Traore stands for the unity of Africa. We are Traore, and Traore is all of us. If they kill Traore, you must know they would have created another wound in the continent of Africa. We must defend him the same way we defend the unity of Africa. We must defend China for defying the USA and telling the USA to go to hell because they don't understand how the tariffs works. Donald Trump is an enemy of himself and all of us. And he must know the EFF is not scared of him. The EFF is not scared of Israel. The EFF is not scared of Morocco. The EFF is not scared of the imperialist forces. The EFF will stand on the side of the people of DRC, the people of Sudan, and the people of Sahrawi. We don't have freedom in South Africa for as long as the people of Palestine are still under the oppression of Zionist aggression of Israel. All of us must say, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, because we know as beneficiaries of international solidarity that if we stand with the oppressed in the world, those oppressed people will be liberated. Arien kaofela ha re tsamaya mo re isolate all political parties tse di ileng ko Israel, di kukuna bo DA, bo PA, bo ACDP, ba batla tšhelete, ba lwantsha the stand of South Africa. Let's go all of us and say, we are not free until the people of Palestine are free. We don't care if we are going to be punished for that. The people who were killed in Matola in Mozambique because of our freedom. The people who were killed in Lesotho because of our freedom. The people who were killed in Wankispolilo in Zimbabwe fighting for our freedom. We cannot allow that those who stood with us during difficult times are today isolated by the enemy, and we go to the side of the enemy. We are Palestine, and Palestine is South Africa. We are Africa, and Africa is South Africa. We will fight xenophobia with everything in our power to unite Africa so that we can have one currency, we can have one military command, we can have one president. This continent is not a continent for as long as we remain divided. How can a country like Lesotho say it's a country with such few people? How can Lesotho or Swaziland or Botswana negotiate with China as a country which has got the quota of the world population? We need to come together and confront the world as one continent that is united to expropriate the land of Africa and use the minerals of Africa to benefit Africa. Comrades, we are not scared of anything that they want to do to us. They banished Winnie Mandela into Brentford. Whether they ban us in America or not, we don't care. Donald Trump can stay with his America, but this continent of Africa belongs to us. Let us not be cowards like Winnie Mandela. Let us stand up and confront the imperialism of America. Let us challenge America. Let us challenge the stupidity of America. Let us not be intimidated by America. America is the enemy of progress in the world. The EFF must leave the liberation of Africa. Elon Musk will never come and open his business here in South Africa as long as he doesn't surrender 30% to the South Africans. No one must come and do business in our country without involving our own people. No one must come to Masilonyana and open business, get a tender in Masilonyana and not involve the people of Masilonyana. We want the people of Mangaung, we want the people of Free State to benefit directly, not only on business. When there is a contract to build a road here, you must ask a question. You, the branch chairperson of the EFF, how many locals have you employed in this project? And if the locals are not enough, you must stop that project and demand that they employ more locals because that project belongs to you. Comrades, we must fight unemployment. Our people are unemployed. The youth of South Africa, many of them have given up on looking for employment. When they've got 50 rand or 100 rand, they prefer to spend it on a bread instead of spending it on a transport to go and look for a job. They are discouraged because there are no jobs created in South Africa, and the ANC has got no plan to create jobs in South Africa. Only the EFF will create jobs through expropriation of land without compensation. Only the EFF will create jobs through nationalization of mines and strategic sectors of our economy. Only the EFF will create jobs by beneficiating the minerals here in South Africa. Only a brave government can create jobs when it's prepared to confront the monopoly of white people in the economy of South Africa. This is your organization. No one will ever destroy this organization. This organization is in your hands. It belongs to you as members. Defend your organization with everything. Build your organization with everything. For sketching, so for sketching, kichi, kichi, kichima, kichi, kichi, kichima. Shoot to kill, kill a man. Shoot to kill, Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa.